YouTube. So, this has been hanging on the wall, been tantalising, annoying everyone for weeks now. This is my Aria Urchin Deluxe. This is from 1982. You can tell by this era of Aria because it says on the back plate it starts with a 2 for 82, 3 for 83, etc. With the accurate bolt-on system made in Japan. So, another one of Matsumoku's finest. This one is recently just... I've kind of got it back to its original spec a little bit. When I got it, it had a Gibson T-top pickup in it, and this switch was just a hole because apparently it had some sort of active system in it, according to the guy I bought it off, which wasn't there anymore. So I put a switch in, and I had it, the Gibson T-top pickup. It sounded very good. So I put it on eBay, and I think this guitar ended up, but I got so much money for the pickup, I think this guitar ended up costing something like 20 quid, like by the time I'd sold the pickup. I did have a blade pickup in it before, which I wasn't really that happy with either, which I think is actually an Aria pickup as well, this one. And then in one of my various things I've ended up with another MMK45, so I put what it would have originally been out. So we've got the MMK45 pickups, and because there was this switch, there was a hole, I had to put a switch in it, and I had it before as a phase switch. So I'm not sure, I think it should probably meant to be 2 volumes. I've got a volume and I took 2 tones, and this was a phase switch. Not a huge fan of the phase switch. I do see the point in it if you've got like a Les Paul or something, but this isn't really a Gibson-y, this is more a Strat. Yeah, I know, but it is, it's quite a Stratty neck feeling, and it's a 25.5 inch scale. It's got the Strat trem, so it's kind of a Strat, although it does definitely have a BC Rich thing going on about it. 82 did they make? I don't even think you got, I think the only BC Riches you got in 82 were like American ones that cost thousands of pounds. I don't think they'd made the NJ series. I think it was the Japanese import ones. I think it was 83 they started, so pre-BC Rich. It's a crazy shape. It kind of reminds me of, it wasn't the Olympics, but it was the Commonwealth Games or something, had like a sort of a diagram of a couple of sort of shapes dancing, and it kind of looked like that, to be honest. Yeah, so it's got, I don't know, you can't, so it's big scoop out here, which means that, to be honest, holding it feels not as ungainly as it looks. I do have it sitting up quite high, but it kind of wants to for some reason. I don't know anyone famous that ever used one of these, but it's so as I said, we've got like a Stratish neck. It's a 3-piece, very similar to an Aria PE neck from a couple of years before it. This came in 4 models. I've never actually seen in the flesh, but I've seen pictures. There's a mini one, but there's a U60, which is a sort of basic model, which, to be honest, I think it's the same pickups. I'm not sure about the trend, but it only comes in like solid black, solid red, and solid white. And then you get this one, which is the middle one, the deluxe one, which has got like deluxe tuners, of which I've only got 5. This one, you can't really see it when you're playing it because it's in the bottom of the headstock, but if anyone's got an Aria tuner with that on it, that one's just an odd, just another tuner, which I keep meaning to get. I'll find one eventually. I just don't want to pay extortionate amounts for it. I did actually buy a set of gold Aria Pro tuners, but they weren't Japanese ones, like Goto ones, and it's like, well, I would just end up having a box with 5 of these in it, so I might as well leave them on it. As you can see, this has got the the veneered headstock, and I'm pretty sure that patent number that's on the headstock is the same patent number that's on all the Aria guitars, and it's actually a patent for the neck join of the PE 800, because mine's a 600. My PE, and it's got that patent on it, and it doesn't have that neck join, and this one doesn't have that neck join either. And the other one I've got that patent on, it's got a neck through, so it doesn't have that neck join either. So it's like patents are kind of, it's like, here's a patent number for something that's not on this guitar, but it's on a guitar made by Aria, but not this one. yeah. So now the switch, as I said, I had one of the things that put me off this guitar was like the volume control was really stiff. And it's like, it wasn't worth changing because it wasn't bursts. It was just really stiff, and it's like, eventually I sawed it, so I changed that. I put the MMK back in again. I made them both coil splittable, so I've now got a coil split switch which just splits them both into single coils, because I figured that was more useful than the phase thing, which I didn't really like. The body's got the most amazing flame maple on it, which you're not really going to get the depth. I'm going to try. You won't hear me because I'm up to now. The mic's there, but if I can get that so you can actually see the depth of the reflections, you know. You're not really get. You can sort of see. You can't see the proper 3D, but see if you look at it like in below the knobs, it kind of reminds me. See when you're out in the boat and you're like over a sandy bottom, so that you get like sort of sand dunes under the water. It kind of looks like that. And if you look at the knobs, they do kind of look like they're floating, you know, a couple of inches above the surface of the guitar. I've never really successfully managed to photograph it, or see there's actually even on the back. Like what? Why? Is that I don't know. I thought putting a pure amazing flamed, I assume it's a veneer, on the back of the guitar. Okay, I wouldn't have thought that was really worthwhile. It's got the kind of knobs I like as well. There's the notchy ones. Yeah, so I'll make some noise with it. It desperately needs new strings. It's got a bit of a sitar on the high E, and I can't see anything wrong, but the strings are rusty. So if you ever have any problems with buzzes and stuff like that, or you know the intonation doesn't seem right and stuff, and it's like before you go taking it to bits and trying to sort things. How old are the strings? Oh, 10 years. Well, it's possible that 10-year-old strings don't rattle, buzz, rust, and intonate badly, but change the strings first. So it's always a good thing if you've got like buzzes and stuff like that. Try changing the strings, because I mean you get a bit of wee kinks in them or lumps, or even I've had it before when they've actually had. I remember buying strings for my Schecter P bass, and it just buzzed like mad on the first 3 frets, and it was because on the wound strings, or just on one string, because you know obviously there's a core and then there's a thing wrapped around it. The core was broken inside it, so it was fine when you got up above the break, but when you were below the break, the actual inside of the string was rattling. Buy new strings. I will buy new strings for this. I'll have a wee bit of a jamboree of kind of. See now see when you can hear a buzz. So here there. Really annoying. Yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked there. So there's 3 models. There's the U60, there's the deluxe, which is this one, and then there's the U100, which is in many ways more of a BC Rich copy. It's through neck and it's got rakes of switches on it. And it kind of looks like, you know, the early BC Riches, the ones where you had like the Mockingbird and stuff, where you had phase and 2 coil splits and a preamp, and it's got all that stuff in it. I've never seen one of them. I don't think I've ever even seen one for sale. I've seen them for sale on, you know, I've seen them on Facebook pages and stuff, but never for sale. I don't know what they go for. Also, I've seen this one in a sort of maroony colour. I also remember forgetting to bid on one years ago that I was always really annoyed about before I had this one, and it was a sort of a light blue turquoisey as opposed to being a dark around the outside. I'm sure it was a sort of much lighter colour, though I've never seen another one like that, so I don't know whether it maybe been painted or whatever. One of those things. I think I lost it. I was trying to bid on my phone 10 years ago when you couldn't really do that, or and I just forgot about it. Really annoyed. Or I remembered about it and it was gone 3 minutes ago, and you're like, ah. But just try and push these things out of your mind. So this is a common thing with the Arias. See here, seems like a very worryingly thin thickness of body behind the neck. So the heel and the neck, this bit's thicker than there's normally, and this seems awfully thin. Same as my Thor sound, but I mean, seems fine. There's actually no crack. Oh, there's a bit of a finished crack there, but it seems to hold all right. And this one has brass or gold coloured hardware. Playing through the Carlton amp. That's really doing my head in. I'll just try and play chords that don't have the E string in them. Neck pickup, single coil. lot of people don't like the MMK45 pickups, but I do. But I think the same people that don't like these don't like DiMarzio Super Distortions because it's kind of what they are. They're maybe excessively bright. If anything, you know, they're not muddy, they're bright. Although someone did actually say to me the other day, I don't like those pickups, they're pure muddy. And it's like, muddy? We have different definitions of the term muddy, man. If anything, they're too bright, but it's quite easy to take the brightness off, you know, just by turning down the tone control or something. It maybe depends. One of the things about the DiMarzio Super Distortions, they kind of suit me because I generally play quite clean, and then when I do distorted, it's maybe like a light fuzz pedal or a rat pedal. I'm not doing, you know, like, her as a gain, you know, to do like your Metallica stuff, which they probably do just turn to mush. That's why you want high power pickups. But for distortions, if you're just running I'm not running a tube amp anymore, but if you're running a tube amp and you want sort of vintagey type sounds, it's like, they're good. They're also not cheap anymore. Missed it. I was actually quite liking that wee 3-chord thing. Dissy. So neck pickup, that's single car. Humbucker. Bridge single car, bridge humbucker. Both pickups. Rat pedal. Bit of a pinch harmonic mood today. have it live. That is the first string I have snapped in about 10 years. Apart from, I did spend the first 5 minutes complaining about how the strings were old though. So I was just sitting there thinking, I'm going to change these strings. I'm just going to change them anyway. And it's like, yeah. So those sounds there with the humbuckers. Aye, this string is goosed. So hopefully that was what that buzzing noise was. I'll then know for sure if it was something else. I checked the levelness of the frets and they're fine. Build quality on these is fantastic. It's a Matsumoku from 1982. If you've got a Matsumoku from 1982, it's going to be brilliant. Really, unless someone's fidgeted with it. And okay, the tuners might have broken, or the pot broke or something, but the actual physical build of them is just top notch. This one does have a wee bit of damage. It's got a bit of a split there, which I should probably try and fix. But just be a case of filling it with glue, I think, and clamping it. Really, it never really bothered me. I've never really used this guitar to the extent I should have. It's kind of a bit of a confusing one because I don't know who's it for. Do you know what I mean? It's like these were not cheap. I don't think they were particularly expensive, but they weren't cheap guitars, and it's such a far out shape that you kind of expect it. BC Rich kind of have this a little bit as well, especially like the earlier BC Rich. Not so much the modern ones. The early ones you get them and you go, oh, this is going to be a pure metal machine, and it's like it's not